So yeah, I was just saying, like, why would men rather talk to a tree? Probably because from the age of like 2, they were told that they can't express their emotions. They can't feel this. They can't feel that. They can't cry. They need to toughen up.
Yeah. What I'm going based off of is when you said, you asked them, why do you guys think women would rather, or men would rather talk to a tree? And they said, because women don't care. And you said, give me an actual good answer. That was both of their answers, and you didn't like their answer. That was them expressing how they feel, and you didn't like it.
But why do you guys, why do men feel like women don't care?
Answer. Yeah. I'm happy to engage with her answer because I think it's actually interesting and rather telling, right? It's the man's fault that he would rather do that. But this is the duality that I'm trying to point out. The duality is this: the reason that you think that men are so unpredictable, you don't know what they're going to do, this and that, is precisely because some men cannot control their emotions, because they don't have good impulse control, because they do act out, and when they do act out, they do a lot of damage because of their lack of emotional control. And yet, here you are saying, if only men had less of this emotional control could open up to us, wouldn't that be actually counterproductive to your position of the bear, though?
I think opening up to a part of empathy, like on a level of empathy.
Nick.
I'm willing to challenge my own delusion. I will say this. I'm willing to challenge my...
Hold on. I'm sorry. Wasn't this directed at you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're
sorry
kind of...
What did you say?
He was directing all these...
You didn't hear what I said?
Towards you.
No.
Oh.
You didn't hear what he was saying?
No.
None of it?
No.
Fix what?
Okay, well then I'll just have the conversation with the person who's listening to what I'm actually saying. So anyway, back to where we're at.
Wait, you know what? Wait, hold on. I want to tune into something that actually just occurred. Andrew, the thing that you brought up was, do you think a man would rather share his feelings to a woman or a tree?
Yeah.
She wasn't listening to anything.
Right, she wasn't listening
even
to a
though
word
you've
of it,
been
right? Because she doesn't care,
that's
right?
one woman in a group full of women that you
even
feel
though
like that
you've been
about.
perfectly respectful, Andrew,
So how are you
you've been
relate that to
perfectly
everyone?
polite. She intentionally just refused to even hear what you had to say and hear how you felt and hear how you thought about the conversation at hand. She's literally just proved your point.
I'm just going to say it wasn't intentional.
It's also your fault, Andrew.
I'm just going to say,
it's my fault.
You're speaking on me, so can I say something?
Go ahead.
It wasn't intentional. I genuinely just spaced out.
He was... You literally
right,
asked him a question.
which is why I would rather share my feelings with a tree. What would be the difference if I had shared my feelings with
shared
you?
feelings with men before, and they've spaced out. Andrew, dude,
Okay.
I've shared my feelings with men before, and they've spaced out.
Yeah.
Okay, ADHD is a thing, honey. Learn about it.
What
Can I
is
say
the
something?
thing?
I said ADHD is a thing, honey. Learn about it.
Hold on.
Well, I mean,
Learn about it.
you come
Any
in
gender
just a
can
sec.
have it. Any sex can have it.
Wait,
Okay.
hold on.
It's your ADHD.
Yes, dude. You spaced out. Like, hello.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear what you said. My ADHD was going.
Okay, and that's fair.
Okay, couple things
Wait,
here.
what? I'm sorry. I can't pay attention to a word you're saying because my ADHD is going.
That's fair.
But anyway, back to
Wait,
this.
hold on. Okay, can you just scoot your mic to the edge of the table?
My mouth is literally an inch away from this microphone.
I don't know, fix your posture.
I don't want to. My mouth is literally so close to this microphone.
But I'm saying you can scoot the mic back and then you move your head back.
But I'd rather just sit like this. Like, I'm more comfortable like
whatever.
this.
I'm not going to deal with this right now. Go ahead with your point.
Okay, my point is, it is like in our society, women do find emotional men who talk about their feelings less attractive and less masculine, and so they really don't want to be with them. So men will mask those feelings because women don't want to be with a whiny guy.
Who said that?
I have a couple things on this whole vulnerability shit too.
No, but who said that?
It's not what you say, it's actions. Women will leave emotional men. They just will. You see
who
it.
said that?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it depends
I don't
on
think
the woman.
that's
First of
true.
all, I don't think it's a gender thing. Okay, first of all.
I mean, it's pretty observable. It must be by your own standard because you say that men are too stoic.
I can ask a couple clarifying questions on this. First off, men and women tend to try to resolve problems in different ways. Typically, men don't like to talk about our problems. We either want solutions or we're just gonna accept it and move on. Now, I do want to try to look at this from a dating lens here. So when it comes to this vulnerability thing, do you guys, just show of hands, do you prefer a confident guy or a guy, like if a guy's approaching you, do you prefer him to be confident or would you prefer him to be like kind of nervous and shy and shaky? So raise your hand if you prefer confident. Raise them high. Raise them high, please.
But the
You
point
prefer
about them
confident
making
guys. Okay, so you prefer nervous, shy, shaky
it's
dudes.
just, I don't prefer like honestly anything because like if someone comes up to me, I'm not going to judge them for how they.
I
approach
prefer a
me.
guy
Really?
listening to me.
You're not gonna.
No.
So your confidence is not an attraction trigger for you.
Confidence is attractive, but I've been with someone who I was very happy with. He was
So
a
you don't-
dope guy, and he was emotional. He was.
No,
Oh, sorry.
but you're not. Okay,
What?
if given the option,
You're not telling him what he wants to hear.
Oh, what do you want to hear?
it might genuinely be her answer, but she didn't really like. I don't know if she fully understood the question. So
Maybe not.
would you prefer a guy to step to you in a confident manner, or a guy who's like shaky, a little nervous, eye contact's not great?
I mean,
I
he can
retract
be
that.
nervous.
So
I
if
mean,
he's
that's
if he's
like
nervous, does that make him emotional?
Well, we're talking about vulnerability.
I think
here.
that
Does
so
that
I
make
do
him
think that
vulnerable?
that would be the
Vulnerable, I don't have
trigger,
an issue
right?
with that.
So if you're looking for confidence or things which you would gauge
think you
as
have to be nervous to
confidence
be
in men, I think that the metrics are somewhat similar between men and women for how they judge confidence, and I think one of those standards is going to be emotional control. So if a person, in other words, if a fire starts in your kitchen and a guy starts running around and screaming just like you do, you would say that that's not a sign of confidence nor competence, right? Yeah, so that would be
But I
this
wouldn't-
kind of lack of emotional control under adversarial conditions seems like that would be tied in with confidence and competence.
Well, I feel like a lack of emotional control doesn't like. I mean, like people can have lack of emotional control and completely fake being confident. Like that's.
Yeah, I don't think that has
yes,
to do with
yeah,
being
hang on.
confident
Yes,
at
that's
all.
true. But what's interesting is that that's why when adversarial positions are pushed on them, you start to see whether or not that's a facade or it isn't a facade. That's one of the reasons that women shit test, right? Because they're trying to kind of push that and see if this guy actually is giving you a facade or if it's the real him.
Well, what I've noticed a lot is that you've made a general stereotype about women, just saying woman this, woman that, when you've made an assumption about one woman at the table. Not all of us not all of us don't care. Not all of us would rather a man speak to a tree than us. Like genuinely, like as me, like I try to be the best person that I can possibly be. If someone needs to talk to me, I'm not going to judge them for it. If someone walks up to me.
Yeah, but actually the kind of the fallacy here, or fallacious argumentations on your behalf, because what you're doing is taking a generalized statement and saying, but not me though. But it's not
No, I'm just
mapped.
saying, like,
But you're
personally, like, we could
generalizing
go
Hang
around
on, hang
everyone
on.
at
It's
this table.
it's not mapped to you specifically. So if I say, for instance,
Well, I mean, I
most
feel like we
women, hang on. If I say most women like tall men, and you go, but I don't like tall men though, that's a non sequitur. It has nothing to do with what I'm saying. It would not change the fact that most women do, even if you don't.
But it does change an opinion.
Well, I'm just saying that not
That
like
you're
every
asking
woman has
for.
the same opinion. Like I have a different one, she's gonna have a different one, they're gonna have different ones. Like everyone, like you can't make a generalized. Sorry, I'm not talking. You can't make really a generalized statement based off of one woman. Like per se, like I don't want
And
to.
we're not doing that though.
Well, you keep saying women this, women that.
Yeah, I know. I'm making a generalized statement based on what we see in observations in society. Not that every specific woman follows these same criteria.
You
I'm
are,
sure that there's
though.
plenty of
Honestly,
women
yeah.
who like short guys. I haven't met very many of them, but I'm sure that
They're
out
out there. I mean, it's
but
just
in
a
general,
statistic.
but hang on. But in general, they don't seem to like short guys.
Was it not a generalized statement when you said women don't care when men speak about their feelings? That's a generalized statement.
That brings
Well,
me.
no, that was applied at the micro, not the macro, because every woman at the table said that they know that men would prefer to talk to a tree rather than
What
them.
does that have to do with a woman
Okay,
caring?
that's where,
to
that
talk
was
to a
where I
tree.
had
That's
an
the
original
issue
point.
right there.
That's society's norms. That's not. It can be gender based, but it also
So
can't.
your objection to you object to generalizations? Is that your point?
It not necessarily. I would say that some men would prefer to talk to a tree, but that's just because of society. That's not because of women or men. It's not like a gender. It's not because of gender. That's because of
What?
how society has trained them to think. Like I would rather talk to a tree than anyone. It's not a thing about gender. It's just like comfortability because like
If that's
opening up is
true,
scary.
I think we can
Yeah,
test
being
and see if
vulnerable to
that's true
anybody's
by
scary.
asking a
That's not
follow-up
unattractive.
question.
Is my point.
Let's just
One of
ask
my
a basic
points.
follow-up question. Do you think that men are more likely to open up to their feelings to women or to other men?
Probably to other men.
Honestly, it depends on the type because I feel like with my
Just
guy
in
friends-
general, in general.
Everything
Well, it
depends.
depends because you talk about different stuff with like.
Well, yeah,
girlfriends and
because the
boyfriends.
world isn't black and white, dude.
I
There's
didn't say
layers
it was,
to everything.
There's
dude.
generalizations you can
There's
make.
layers to everything.
have a comment.
I agree. There's layers to everything. But if we were to say that 51% would be most and 49% would be not most. Would you say that most men would prefer to talk to other men about their feelings, or would prefer to talk to women about their feelings?
From what I've noticed, actually, women, like most of my guy friends
Women.
at least, they've talked about it, and I've talked about this with my parents as well, including my dad and my stepdad, and they're like, oh, like, there's just, women and men have a different relationship. So if you're...
Then why in the world would you take the position that they would rather talk to a tree about their feelings than you if you think most of them would prefer to talk to women over men? That makes no sense. It's absurd.
Because first it was trees and men, and now it's women and men. So what are we talking about?
Yeah,
Trees
yeah,
and
but
men or
if your
women and men?
position is, do you think that a man would rather talk to a tree about their feelings than talk to a woman?
I think that
right?
unless
That's
I
what
feel
your
like-
actual position is. Then why then would you say that you think that men would prefer to talk to women about their feelings?
I feel like anyone
over
would
men?
rather talk to a tree than another human being. It's easier to open up, honestly.
You think so? Okay, so I see. So you think that all people would rather talk to a tree
Not
about
all
their
people,
feelings?
but like coming from, I don't know, everyone here, I don't know, would you guys rather open up to someone or like talk to a tree because the tree's not going to judge you?
No, a
So then
person.
let me,
I would
so
like
then,
to
so then we can
person.
just clear this up
I guess if
really
you want
fast. We can
feedback,
clear it
yeah.
up super
But, like,
quick.
genuinely,
Hang on,
like,
clear it up
talking,
super
like, with
quick.
I mean,
Hang
Same
on.
as, like,
we-
journaling.
the thing is with telling
we can
people
totally
your
clear
business
this
and
up
what's
in
going
1
on, so they
second.
can use it against
So
you.
going around with just a quick question, do you think then, going around the table one more time, that men would rather open up about their feelings to women or to other men? Show
Nick,
of
can you
hands.
take her phone?
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's just
Would you?
like-
Do you think men would
bothers.
prefer to open up to other men about their feelings or to women about their feelings?
Honestly, women.
Going around the table.
I'm still saying women.
I'm gonna say women.
I say women, and I have some interesting statistics on that.
Okay.
Hold on, keep going.
Men probably. I don't know.
Probably women. If they're married women, but men, usually friends.
Probably men because they can relate to what they're saying. Women usually aren't able to.